Hi guys, in this video I'm going to show you my updated Mandalorian Army as of January 2025. It has 21 individual Mandalorian warriors, none of which are the same as any other one. And I have divided them up according to their origin and inspiration, just to show you how I created each of them. So we're going to start with Bo-Katan and her Night Owl warriors. The minifigure Bo-Katan is unchanged from the set she came in, which was the spider droid. The blue Mandalorian warriors that are with her are all from the Mandalorian versus Super Commando battle packs, but each of them is slightly different from the other. So on the left we have a Mandalorian commander, and he has a shoulder piece from Jean Grey in the X-Men Mansion set, which is also available directly on Bricks and Pieces. And this just gives him a more recognizable silhouette and shows him to be the leader. Now, the Mandalorian female warrior here with the long range rifle is unchanged from out of the box, except for the addition of her main weapon. But the Mandalorian warrior next to her has swapped out legs with the same hip piece and swapped out hands with this guy over here, and that just gives them a slightly unique look to differentiate them. These heavy Mandalorian troopers were made with this Space Police armor, which goes nicely with the rest of their look, and then custom built heavy blasters, which I experimented with and have a few other versions, which I'll show you later. Their leg printing is a little bit unique in that I swapped out one leg for each just to give them a slightly different pattern, which is of course hidden now behind their minigun. Moving on behind them, these Mandalorians were from the original Mandalorian battle pack, but you can see that they've been modified with swapped out arms and leg pieces to give them as unique a look as they possibly can, and then the addition of some blue hands and blue shoulder pads for this one. They also have an extra set of Boba Fett legs, which match nicely with the tan blue or sand blue color of the rest of the uniform. And then this heavy trooper was made by using a Nite's shoulder piece, and again building him another custom minigun. Coming back to the front here, we have more of a desert or remote planet theme, heavily inspired by the Mandalorian's armor. So the two minifigures with the orange helmets mostly derived from that Mandalorian battle pack. The only changes made to this guy was that he was given an extra jetpack and then has arms with arm printing from an extra Mandalorian minifigure. This Mandalorian is unchanged from how he came in that spider droid battle pack. I quite like this minifigure. He's probably my favorite. He's got a custom blaster, which is a handheld one with binoculars on it to give it a double barrel look. He's got a gauntlet there, which is made of the same Mandalorian metal as the rest of his armor. And then he has these orc shoulder pad pieces, the color of which match very nicely with his helmet. And he's got an extra Mandalorian torso and legs to give him more of a silver look. This heavy Mandalorian trooper uses an old Mandalorian silver helmet, another Nite shoulder pad also in silver, and then the torso, legs, and arms from the original Mandalorian battle pack, and another custom built repeat blaster. And finally, we've got a few more at the back here. These two are just swapped out versions of the same base torso and helmet for a couple more Mandalorian minifigures with different colorations. And then we have the Fett inspired Mandalorian. So we've got Boba Fett here, the one from the mech transport. So he's got the arm and leg printings, but I did add the cape from a sand skiff set that I had earlier, and I tried my best to build his custom blaster out of Lego parts. So it uses one of the candle pieces on a standard blaster with a brown joint piece for the stock. And it allows him to hold it like this, and I'll show you in a moment how he can hold it in action. Behind him, we have a Mandalorian who is sort of inspired by Cobb Vanth, but is not meant to be an exact replica of him, as his leg coloring is different, but he's got the dark red arms that match well with the highlights on the visor and different colored legs just to make him more interesting, and he's got his sand colored jetpack at the back. The only change I made to Old Man Boba, which I found to be kind of a disappointing minifigure, was give him a black cape instead of keeping his jetpack. And then I have the OG modern version of Jango Fett, which I have left unchanged. So the stock can be modified to just attach at the top there, and then it does look like he's using it as a shoulder rest. It's not as accurate to the original gun that he uses, but it does allow you to keep all the pieces and pose it in a more action-oriented way. One other option, which I'm not sure I like as much, but which is interesting to consider, is to use one of these newer attachment pieces, which are often used to hold blaster actions, as an attachment to the gun, which keeps the stock below his arm, but does make it look a little bit awkward in the way that he's holding it. So that's my Mandalorian Warrior collection as of January 2025, each of them unique and up to 21 minifigures. Let me know what you think of my creations in the comments below, and let me know if you've come up with your own way to individualize your Mandalorian warriors. Personally, I prefer this type of army building, as it allows for unique modifications and a unique army. And I think it's a lot more fun than just buying battle packs and standing them up all in rows. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for checking out the video. Have a good one.